Good morning, everybody. I hope you had a great weekend. The weather was pretty good, but the bad news is I think that summer is over. Winter has arrived. Well, it's on the way, let's put it that way. And with that comes all kinds of other great things that we can do during the colder times of year. But what's interesting about this time of year, of course, is the days are getting shorter and the nights longer. And yet the church has a remedy for that in terms of the scripture and the tradition that we have. The second reading yesterday from St. Paul talked about us being children of the light, children of the day. We're God's children, and we're to bring his light into the whole world. And that's what it's all about. If you paid any attention to the readings yesterday, they were kind of fascinating, talking about the woman who works so well as a wife, as a mother, as a friend to all. Work became part of her life. In working, she was a kind of a co-creator with God, making the world a better place. And that's what we're called to do. The gospel of yesterday's Mass was all about that, the idea of the talents. Not to keep the talents to ourselves, but to share them with the world. And you see, we all have talents. And our talents to be used to build up the church, the communities, our own lives. Not so much like an investment in terms of banking or the stock market, but to invest in people to change the world. That's what it's all about. As we move forward towards the end of the church's year, which is coming up pretty quick. I mean, next Sunday is the Feast of Christ the King, the last Sunday of the church's year. We are kind of reminded about end things. Well, again, the scriptures gives us a hint about that. If we really listened to the gospel, one of the greatest lines in that gospel was when Christ talked to both the servants, two of the ones that had invested the money, the talents he had given. And his words to them were, "Well done, good and faithful servant. Enter into the joy of the master." I hope to hear those words when I die. I can only hope for that. All right? And I'm working towards it. Let our hope be the hope of God, that we are his good servants who work to the end. God bless, and have a great week.